Hi, everyone. I put together a couple of questions from the algebra quizzes that you took last week. These were the questions that some of you had trouble with, some of you asked about. I suggest that you print out the PDF and follow along with this video. Again, this is a good review of algebra, and also this will help you with the Castle Learning assignment that you're going to be getting this week. Okay, so I'm going to start with question number one. There were a lot of mistakes on this question. A couple of things I think might have been a problem. First of all, hopefully you knew to distribute first, that you didn't do 5 minus 3 because that is not the way to do the problem. You have to distribute to get rid of the parentheses. You have to be very careful when you're distributing here. You're distributing -3. So we're going to just bring down the 5. -3 times 5x is -15x. And -3 times -4 is +12. Okay, now we can go ahead and combine like terms. So we're just going to bring down that -15x, and +5 plus +12 gives me +17. So our answer is choice B. So going on to number 2, again, I think the problem here is that maybe you try to do this in your head without doing it on paper, and that's a little bit difficult because you have to, when you see a subtraction sign in front of a set of parentheses, remember there's really a -1 there, and that needs to be distributed to every term inside that set of parentheses. In front of the first set of parentheses, there's really just a 1 there. So remember, if we distribute +1, nothing changes. So we can just go ahead and just remove the first set of parentheses and bring everything down. 5x plus x squared minus 4. Sorry about the pen. And then we're going to distribute that -1. So -1 times 4x gives me -4x. -1 times -1x, we have to be careful there, is +1x squared or +x squared. And -1 times +6 is -6. So as you can see, when we distribute -1, everything in the second set of parentheses changes sign. Okay, so remember, when we combine like terms, we try to put the answer in descending order, so highest exponent in front. So I'm going to combine 1x squared with 1x squared, and that's going to give me 2x squared. And then I'm going to combine my x term, +5x, and -4x. 5 plus -4, or 5 minus 4, gives me +1x, or just +x. And then -4 plus -6 gives me -10. And so my answer is choice C. Okay, number 3, similar problem. Again, we are distributing -1s, everything in that second set of parentheses. Everything in the first set, is just going to come down in the same way. We don't have to change anything. So we're going to get 2a squared plus 5a plus 3. Again, now everything in the second set of parentheses changes sign. So that's going to become -a squared plus 3a plus 4. Now we're going to go ahead and combine our a squared. So 2a squared and -1a squared make 1a squared, or just a squared. 5a plus 3a gives me +8a, and +3 plus +4 gives me +7. Okay, and if I look at my answers, that is choice B. Okay, factor. So I'm looking for the greatest number that will go into 4x and 30y. So the GCF, the number that is the largest number that is a factor of both, is 2. So that 2 is going to be what goes in front of the parentheses. I'm going to divide every term by 2. So that's going to give me, that's going to give me 2x. Sorry about that. So inside the parentheses, that's going to give me 2x, and then plus 15y. And remember, I can check my answer by distributing. If I distributed, the only choice that would get me, back to the original problem is choice C, and that's what I got when I factored. Okay, moving on to the next page. Here's another factoring problem. This time there's no number that will go evenly into the coefficients. Nothing goes into 17 and 1 besides 1, but there's a variable that I can factor out of both. So the GCF here is actually x because it's common to both terms. So I'm going to divide both terms by x. I'm going to factor out the x, which means it's going to go in front of parentheses. And then when I divide, I'm left with 17y. Be careful here. X divided by x is just 1, but we have to bring down that negative. So it's -1. Again, if you want to check this, distribute, if you multiply x times 17y, you get 17xy, and x times -1 gives you -1x, or just x. So the answer is choice C. Okay. Let's look at number 6. I've said this before. Anytime it's a perimeter question, draw the picture, because a lot of you got choice B, but that's only half the rectangle. Okay. If you draw the picture, you'll see that there are 2 sides that measure 2x plus 3. And then there are 2 sides that measure 2x minus 4. So I can just add these 4 sides together by combining like terms, or I could double each side using distributive property. So 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. Okay, and that's going to give me 4x minus 8 plus 4x plus 6. And then combine my x's gives me 8x minus 2. So again, those of you who picked, I don't know what happened. Those of you who picked choice B, I know what you did. You just combine, these two, and you forgot about the other half of the rectangle. So the answer is choice C. Okay, and that's it for this assignment. So hopefully you guys followed along and you filled out all the problems on your worksheet. I'm going to post another video that you have to do, and that's going to also prepare you for the Castle Learning assignment that you'll be getting this week. Okay, see you soon, guys.